So okay, we'll just get into it. So the more recent thing that kind of created a divide between you and the community of artists is a situation that happened with you and your cousin, who's also an artist, a legendary, revered artist within the community. You and your cousin had a situation that really, in my opinion, and I've told you this a long time ago, should have been a family matter. She should have got and never left the Thanksgiving table or the picnic or the family reunion. But now that it's made its way into a public forum, what is it about that particular situation that you think has you painted as the bad guy?
I think.
And why do you think people are painting you as the bad guy?
So I'm gonna say a few reasons, right? Let's be clear. We you know, me and him, we came up together. Period. That's just what it is. So technically, it is family. You know what I'm saying? I think the situation with that is, I gave you an example earlier, and it's crazy how everything come full circle. When you only see a certain part of something, it gives you your mind frame to think, okay, this was that. You know what I'm saying? And in that situation, what they seen was him being jumped on. Now, if you want me to be honest with you and tell you what really bothered me about the situation, bro, if you go the test of time, prime example of a worker, somebody that's minding their business, right? If you go look since we was younger, every single record, every single album that have came out, my name have been mentioned. Interviews, my name have been mentioned. I always, for the love I had for him, would be like, man, one, I know him. I know that nigga don't mean that shit is what it is. You know what I'm saying? And so, for me, growth is important, right? So we fast forward to this and to doing everything you've been doing. I could tell you one part that was real heartbreaking, right? The radio, one of the radio people that was responsible, that led to me being banned, he does an interview. And when he does the interview, he's like, yeah, when the stuff happened with Trae, the first person who called me was Zero, like, yeah, man, I'm riding with y'all, whatever y'all need. And it's like, bro, why would you do that? I would never hurt, harm, or try and block you from that. Just
so
hear
I
me
can
out.
understand, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. The interviewer said that when the stuff happened with Trae, are you talking about years ago at the Trae Day incident?
You're right. So not even the Trae Day incident. After me being banned,
Okay,
that's
after
just
you were
understood
banned.
being banned.
So you saying your cousin, the interview said.
Let's stop doing the cousin. Let's just say who we referring to. At the end of the day.
So is that your cousin or not?
No, we came up since
okay,
young.
so y'all just childhood partners.
Yes.
Y'all, okay,
so,
y'all sandbox buddies.
Yeah.
Got it.
So, and you know, been through a lot together.
Got it.
Point is, and everything that I'm saying, when people, if they take the time to go look it up, it'll all be there. You know what I'm saying?
So you saying that bruh saying
but
Zero called and celebrated you being banned and saying he wanted to do whatever he could.
But hear me out, because let's be very clear, bro. When I go to talking, I really don't do interviews pertaining to men, because I feel like that ain't everybody's business. So I don't want to sit up here and be like, oh, he did this, he did this, he did that. I'm giving you a couple of examples of things that I've
setting the mindset I feel is important.
Right. So in that aspect, you know, being played with all these years, but it's for the love that I have for him that I don't do this regular. I ain't doing responding. When you're doing interviews, people can't bait me in to make me say something, you know what I'm saying? And again, even speaking to hear somebody say, that person like, oh yeah, man, I got y'all back. I'm supporting whatever y'all got going with Trae, and as far as them banning me, you know, it's like bro, when the fuck did when that happened? Like when that hate really came. So what happened was me trying to be a bigger man. That day, what happened is I actually said in my mind, and bro, I'm tired of all these interviews, point blank period. This is the first time we ever had the opportunity where we ain't in a big setting and we ain't everywhere else. because technically it was outside, you know, and there wasn't that many people out there. So I tell him when he get done, I'm like, hey, bro, when you get done, you know, let's take a walk. You know, in my mind, it's only two things on my brain. Hey, bro, if it ain't no real issue, stop doing all these interviews and all that, because I ain't on that type of, like, we literally focus on taking care of our family.
Yeah.
But if it is that, let's nip it in the bud now so we ain't got to keep going back and forth.
Right.
So in my mind, I walk off by myself, you know what I'm saying? Even though, and it's a real video, you know, it just never came out because I feel like you're going to feel how you feel about me anyway. And so
I was asked if I'd ever seen the video, and I hadn't.
Okay,
so what you describing to me, I haven't seen.
Yeah, nobody have. And the crazy part is a lot of people were.
But somebody who from Houston was like, you ain't seen the video? I was like, no, I ain't seen no video.
No, they talking about the video that's on TMZ.
I ain't seen that either.
Yeah, it's a video. They caught the tail end of it on TMZ.
Okay.
So what happened is, so I tell them let's take a walk, and I walk off. I walk off by myself. I'm in the parking lot. My people to the side. He with a couple of people. So whenever he got done with what he was doing with them, the two people start walking towards me that he was with, that he was taking a picture, whatever he was doing with. Somebody we knew. Actually, it's crazy. Them two people is the ones who sold a video to TMZ, but which that shit
you got to expect that. You got to expect that.
So for me, in my mind, I'm trying to be a bigger person, you know, because any other time, like, bro, I don't give a fuck to talk to nobody. Like, man, I'm going to go about my business, you go about yours. Mm-hmm. And as they walking, he trying to get around him to get to me kind of more in a speedy way. And it led to us being nose to nose. You know what I'm saying? Because the words before he got to me was, yeah, you talking to me? I can't lie to you, Tip, at that moment, I felt played. I felt played because, bro, I'm coming at you as a man first and foremost. I don't look at you as no threat. I ain't gonna handle you how I'm gonna handle another nigga out here, because I know how I'm gonna go when it come to them. So when I do that, you talking to me, and it's like, well, you know I was talking to you. I just said, bro, let's take a walk. We literally nose to nose. All instantly, right. out of me, where I can take accountability is I shouldn't have moved off emotion. I felt played at that moment, and I took off. You know what I'm saying? Now, the part people seeing is my people end up jumping in. Now, keep in mind, when it's happening, this all heat of the moment. If you look up, and me and you done been in these situations, if I look up, no matter what's going on, and we come to this motherfucker together, and I look at you, and all of a sudden something break out, I'm gonna ask questions later. I'm gonna figure that all out.
So just taking off what you described to me, this is what I say. I say, bro, y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to sit down. Y'all need to have a discussion. You know, the discussion should be introduced by someone that you both respect. And if y'all would have had the conversation in, you wouldn't have had to wait all the way up until when you saw them and it had already been built up and boiled over and emotion was already at your eyebrows. So, and probably here too. So now one of y'all was really properly positioned to have a logical, reasonable discussion.
Okay.
The stage wasn't set for that. The stage was only set for what happened because of how it was dealt with leading up to it. I ain't saying nobody right. I ain't saying nobody wrong. They ain't even where I'm at with it.
So, but what I want to say is, you asked me when it comes to the something that really bothered me, right? But it's a part of understanding, because I let people know, like, hey, I probably did, I don't even know how long it was. I'm like, hey, you know, some shit that happened. As far as anything done wrong on my behalf, it's shit that was done I agree with, shit that was done I don't agree with. See, and let's be very clear, can't nobody speak for how I felt in that moment. Can't nobody speak for my thought process in that. They can only speak from their perspective of what they seeing and what they feeling.
True.
Now, what I'm saying is, if me and you somewhere, right? Let's just say me and you brothers, right?
Yeah.
Say you did something to mama, whatever that may be. Me and you we may get out there and we gonna squabble. But hear me out. We gonna squabble, but I'm not gonna handle you how I would handle somebody else, because in the same sense, I still have love for this person.
I don't have that gear, Trae.
What I'm saying is, for me, Tip, I can have that gear, because I know how far
that's
I
a gear
can go,
I don't
bro.
know.
Yeah, I know how far I can
I got
go.
stop and go.
So for me, the point of it was I purposely never allowed the video that probably would even clear me in a situation where people been like, okay, that's their business. Why? Because at the end of the day, do I agree with him being jumped? No, bro. Like that all that shit had to
Have you
spare
said
the
that
moment.
personally? Have you said that publicly?
Nah,
That you
bro,
didn't agree
he
with
know.
it?
One,
I
no,
asked- that ain't what I
fuck
asked
that.
you.
We not even gonna let
Have
you do
you
that to me.
said
Listen
that
to me.
publicly? I just asked
Listen
you a
to me.
question.
He's been told that, and it's been told when I just said, hey, it was certain shit I agree with, and other shit that I don't agree with, I have to take accountability for.
Right. So you're saying that you take accountability and you regret that more than you and him got physical that day.
Yeah, I definitely don't feel
You didn't intend for
it
other
was
people
never
to get
intended
involved.
for that. He know that.
It was never intended to be physical.
And it was intended for me and him to be physical. It wasn't even intended then. That
Okay.
happened based off me moving, really, which I strive to try and even teach a lot of niggas around me, bro. We can't move off emotion.
And
that
you
1
hold
second of
yourself
emotion
accountable.
can.
You hold yourself
I
accountable for
definitely
what?
can. Now, even with me holding myself accountable for that, now you have to fast forward to all the narratives that got painted. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, hold on, I took
The
that.
account-
Hold on, I took that on the chin. The case that was placed on me.
Actually,
No.
It wasn't. Can't
You
do
can't.
that.
You can't not let me tell you though.
I'm
You
saying-
can't not let me get my side.
You are getting your side off, but every time you say something that I feel someone at home would raise their hand and say, but wait a minute, I have to do that. I want to let you say it. I just want to tell you this. Okay, yes, you say you're holding yourself accountable for this part that you played and things getting to a place. And that's commendable. But holding yourself accountable, you don't get to say but when you hold yourself accountable, because the accountability of whatever it is that started it would alleviate whatever happened after that. You feel me? It's kind of like when somebody say, yeah, I'm sorry, but, you feel what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, when you say it, and I'm gonna stop right now, and I'm gonna say, go ahead and get it off. But when you get it off, just remember, once you hold yourself accountable, you can't go, okay, yeah, but still after that, then. Just remember that. So, let's go.
You fucked up my whole body.
Just saying, bro. Bro, I'm just keeping it gangster with you.
But
I'm keeping it gangster with you. Hey, look.
But I'm really playing with you right now. But yeah, you did fuck up my whole body.
Nah,
because
man,
it's
fuck
like-
that shit, bro.
So look,
we out here. Hey, look, get what? What I'm gonna do? Ban you?
But,
You know what I'm saying?
But to put it in perspective, yeah, I feel like I take my account, but not even. I take my accountability for multiple ways, right? Mm-hmm. Because my little bros, they took backlash. All the while, they only did what they know how to do. It don't matter what's going on. You gonna protect big bro at all times. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So I take accountability for that too, because I felt like a lot of people around me took backlash just on the strength, and they wasn't doing nothing but doing what they know how to do and what they supposed to do. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, in a bunch of the whole overall situation within itself, it wasn't cool. I feel like I just shouldn't have moved off emotion. That's just point blank period. There's no other way around that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No, but the problem is, from the viewer perspective, I don't know none of this shit, right? I know less than anybody here, but what it sounds like is having a conversation with your girl, and you like, hey, so why are we arguing? Well, because you came in here smiling, and I wasn't ready for it. Like, whatever it was, you let something that someone else did cause you to react, right? But in your reaction, you do know that there are people who care about you, who will do what they're supposed to do if seen, right? So there's a level of accountability from being the chief in this situation to maintain. So
You got an army.
Yeah.
You have an army, you have soldiers, you're a general, right? If the soldiers see the general respond in such a way, as you just mentioned, soldiers are conditioned to respond as a soldier would for the general. So as the general, what one must do is be mindful and exercise discernment See, with strength comes, you can't do everything. Like, it's almost like if, you know, if
Strength without restraint is just
yes,
wanna do shit.
strength without restraint is savagery. You feel me? So you have that strength, and you've said a million times, I know that it ain't that with this. So you got to exercise, or I ain't gonna say got to, but it's best and most appropriate. People in our position exercise and
The most.
in exponentially more restraint than others. Because if we get to pushing the way we might feel we want to push or need to push, then everything that pushes behind us, we are responsible for. But you've already said that you understand that.
Very much.
And that's an excellent lesson to have been learned. But now, to me, I also have another perspective. The fix is always greater than the fail. So what is there that can be done, should be done to fix this? We understand the failure, and you accept accountability for the part you played, and others would have to accept theirs. But what can be done to fix it?
On the growth level, I let go of all grudges I had. I let go of all that type of energy I had, and just kept it moving. You know, I kept it moving, despite all the backlash, despite all the, it was doors that was getting closed behind this shit too. I took that, and I didn't defend myself. I didn't go to where I feel I need to respond or do that. Why? Because I felt I was being accountable. You know what? In that situation, I'm not all the way right. So whatever come with that, I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna take that, and I'm gonna keep it moving. And I got past it. You know, I got past it and went to doing other things that I feel I should. Now, you know, rightfully, did I have a right to defend myself? Fuck yeah. But did I? I didn't, because one is like, man, I'm not finna get out here trying to prove myself. And two, once I accepted, like, you know what, cool. Once I accepted, cool, you know. As far as on my part, that what went on, I could take my accountability, and I'm gonna keep it moving. And again, even more so, the more of a reason why I took my accountability is also, man, it did affect a lot of people. And I felt like people took the backlash of that didn't have to. Whatever happened to me from that point to now, I took it, I accepted it like a man, and I just kept it moving. You know what I mean? You can go look up now, you're not gonna see interviews with me speaking on it. You ain't gonna hear records with me just going all like, none of that, bro. Like, I got, Tip, I live a real life, bro.
Listen,
You know, my life don't revolve around mess.
I understand that. Even though your life don't revolve around mess, everybody's life got some mess in it, and we all got to deal with it, get over it, move past it.
Yeah.
So this is just your turn. You know what I mean? It's just your turn. I didn't have my turn.
Yeah, you definitely
Everybody, you know
had
what I
your
mean?
turn.
It's just your turn, all right? Yeah. And it's important to understand that life is precious.
Yeah.
And the time that we spend in here and the people we spending that time around, you know what I mean? That's a valuable commodity. So whatever it is that's positive, that's memorable, that's meaningful about whoever it is involved, whether it's this community of artists, whether it's this one person you have an issue with, whatever it is, but ain't nobody promised no more tomorrows. So whatever it is that you think could be done to make amends or offer other people opportunity to make amends and fix it, man, do it while it's still time. Don't get after it's too late, now you want to, what I should have did was. Man, do it now. And I say that to you or anybody else involved, because life is too short. We done all been shot at before. We done seen people drop next to us and never come back, have to tell their mamas and them they ain't coming home no more and all that. If it ain't that and the severity level ain't there, then what the fuck we doing? We playing, for real. Because we done been out there in real issue with real pressure. This ain't no real pressure. So why allow it to have the same effect as real pressure would have
if not more.
if it ain't no real pressure. If it ain't no real pressure, man, let that shit go, man. Y'all got it, man. Y'all got it. My bad. Cool. You know what? As a man, I shake your hand. I should have responded differently. And I ain't doing this for you. I'm doing it for me. Because whatever you holding inside, whatever negativity you harbor, it don't affect the other person. Nobody feels that but us.
But Tip, did you hear me when I just said?
You did say that.
I got clearly. Once I got to the, let me tell you, and the reason why I could say that comfortably is because when I got to a point of the band, where I let it go, I went on with my life, man, and he blessed me with other things. You
That's
see
right.
what I'm saying? So even in this situation, I know if I forever wake up and hold a grudge, and if I can be just transparent, when it first happened, yeah, I was irritated, angry, everything. Man, I got to a point like, bro, it don't bother me. Even if something said about me from that way, it don't bother me, man. I ain't got no hate for that, man. Like I genuinely let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like you said, it's not a situation where I'm trying to do something to him. I ain't on that type of time with him. You know what I'm saying? Like that ain't where I'm at.
I got like four more things. I got like four more things. Cause you done said everything you saying right now. You done said it already, and it's good.
Well, vice versa.
Yeah, four things. First thing, Gil.
KP, we all talking. We get out this shit now. Play with.
The first thing is, have you considered, or are you actively right now in counseling? Like therapy, to work through some of the shit and help you.
Physically sitting with a counselor, no.
Okay.
I do have my ways, you know, whether it may be me and your ass going at it for an hour straight, whether it may be chopping it up with my spiritual advisor, whether it may be just chopping it up with my brothers and them. Like it's different ways that I release and let out, you know what I'm saying? And
prayer and
I feel that's for
meditation.
me. I pray, bro. I've been doing that before and way after. I don't know about the meditation.
Meditation.
Yeah, so that's a learning process, you know.
Okay.
And J. Cole was trying to teach me how to do that, you know.
Yeah.
I think I'm not at a place in life where I can get silent. It's always active around me. So I haven't got to a place where I can get to meditate.
Try it
like
in the
that.
shower. It's usually quiet in there.
Yeah.
If you got a loud shower, something's up.
No, but you get the point of it.
Nah, man. Another laughter is also good.
Yeah. People who that's another thing, bro. People that let me know people don't really know me. Tip what we do majority of the time.
We laugh and kick
That's
it.
it.
Yeah. And we don't take much seriously. What I learned from my time on the couch in therapy is that, and this helped shape my mindset and how I receive other people's actions. Majority of the time, what other people say and do to me has very little to do with me. It's a reflection of how they feel about themselves. See, a lot of times we think, oh man, they doing this to me because, you know, they want me to, but most of the time it's a reflection of how they feel about themselves and where they're coming from their place in life. And when you understand that and you don't personalize it so much, then it lessens the effect of the emotions.
Yeah.
You feel me?
And what you're saying, I know is valid. I was in New York in the hood with Styles, and we were just kicking it. He was just telling me, he was like, bro, I don't think it's that people don't like you or they hate you, just in life, you know what I'm saying? Because he was looking, he like, man, I can just tell you be going through it, bro. Like, and even sometimes when you see some of the hate people try and display towards you, say, man, one thing you gotta realize, that's something that they going through. It's probably something you doing that they may want to do or they may not be able to, and they just not comfortable with they self, period. So
Yeah.
it comes out the way it comes out, and so I'm understanding that part.
Yeah, I think that's definite. And I also, I will challenge you right now to say 3 things you feel that you could have done different. Not in this situation, but every situation that we've talked about today. 3 things that you feel that you could have done differently that could have shaped and kind of molded a different outcome to happen.
One, probably let a lot of things go. Definitely not move off emotion.
Okay.
You know? And I'm big on that word. I hate this interview probably got emotion more than anything, but it's the reason emotion is important. Bro, I was trained since a youngin'. Somebody say something to you, hit go. Period. Don't let nobody play with you.
Mm-hmm.
All the while that wasn't right.
Right.
I'm not supposed to let people dictate how I'm supposed to move or when I move.
That's right.
And we didn't learn it that way. Even there's a lot of youngers that ain't learning it that way. That's why I really grab them like, nah, we ain't gonna move off emotion, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna let them make, because letting them do that may end up sending you in jail for a bid you ain't gotta go do.
True, but it's also important to understand that nobody's perfect. So even when that happens, there is a list of steps you could take and things you can do to correct whatever this backsliding moment may have been. Because that's moving instinctively when you're moving off emotion.
Yeah.
And all of us have done it. We all have. I want to get into, to move past that a little bit, I want to get into your thoughts on fatherhood and how you felt being reunited with your daughter.
And fatherhood important, bro. You and I both know as everything that we do, everything we give is pertaining to our kids. You know, like my kids, to be honest, man, I don't think it's nothing that could even make me feel like I want to tap out other than my kids. You know what I'm saying? And I've learned that that's just behind the passion and the love that I have for them, man. And my kids is my priority. And I think people know that, you know, just seeing the situation I just went through. People ain't never seen me, I wouldn't even use the word vulnerable, but they ain't never seen me in that aspect. Tip, I didn't even know I could cry like that, bro. It'd be to the point I could just be talking, bro, tears be rolling down my face when I was looking for my daughter. Like, that's a different type of pain, you know what I'm saying? And when it come to my kids, and I tell people this openly, like, I put my life before I let something happen to them with no hesitation, or I'll go sit in the cell the rest of my life to protect them.
How long were you going through the ordeal where you were, you know, effectively trying to find your daughter Truth?
This last time, at least 4 to 5 months.
4 or 5 months. You didn't know where she was, hadn't talked to her, seen her, or nothing.
No, nothing, man. And man, it was so crazy, bro. I was living in a hotel in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't leaving. I mean, I shut down. I say shut down. I'm not talking to nobody. Like, I couldn't tell you nobody who can get through to me on the phone. My only mindset was, this is where I heard the area my daughter is. I'm going all up and through here. I'm gonna find my baby. And it got to a point, man. I was just so reckless and distraught. Ray, which is Martin Lawrence's sister.
Mm-hmm.
She had a real big sister talk. Like, she like, you know, I went through this with Martin. And she like, I get it, but at the end of the day, sometimes you may not know. You may be getting in God's way. Like, if you say you believe in God, then you gotta have faith. And if you got faith, you still got other actions that He's probably expecting you to be doing that you ain't doing right now, because you so focused on this.
Mm-hmm.
And I said that to say, nobody could get me to leave LA. She got me to leave LA. And the first thing I did was went to Carolina and helped with the hurricane. That was the only thing that would put me at ease, was to help others. The love that I have for others, to see them happy, made me happy at that moment. You know, that was the only way I could keep myself busy, because other than that, I was just drowning. If I wasn't drowning in tears, I'm drowning in thoughts. I'm just where my baby at, you know?
Yeah.
And
how was it able to go on for so long?
they honestly said they couldn't find her. And I found, it wasn't even because everybody was involved. You had the marshals, you had everybody looking for my child.
And you had already been granted custody.
Yeah, I had.
So you went through the court process.
I went through the court process 6 years and finally got
and
custody.
you was awarded full custody.
I was awarded primary custody.
Primary custody.
And then it happened.
And then they took off.
Yeah.
Like they was, after they heard the decision from the judge, they just was not.
No, it didn't
gonna
happen right
concede.
then. It didn't happen. I got awarded primary at the top of the year. And me being, again, I always think for my kids, like the happiness of them is important to me. So I'm like, I'm gonna let my baby finish her school year out. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt like I don't want to just abruptly take you.
And this was last year, 24.
Yeah, 24.
Okay.
Let her finish. She came here for like maybe a week or two, and then they had summer visitation. So my baby went right back, you know.
Right.
And, ended up getting my baby at the proper time. We getting ready for school, and the very first visitation, the mom came to Houston, and I went and dropped my baby off at a trampoline park on the north side, and never seen her since. Phones cut off, everything. Like it's just the house that they lived in, swiped, abandoned, and.
In that time though, y'all was still going before the judge though, like having like
Everything was done.
everything was done after
Everything was done. So what happened is, it was a pattern over the years. Like whenever they would try and keep her, they would just file some bogus stuff. So what they did this time when they took her, they went and filed it, and it was a bunch of shit that was just all lies that anybody who knows.
frivolous accusation.
Yeah. But
baseless.
the thing is, what people fail to realize, I still had to go through that process. You can go say somebody did something. It don't mean that they're going to win the case, but you still got to walk that down.
You got to go through the process.
Yeah. And it got to a point where the judge there didn't even know I had custody. So one of the times I showed up to court there, the judge ended up reaching out to the judge here, and it's like, oh, well, hold on. Why this part wasn't told to us? As a matter of fact, I'm giving you a certain time to bring the baby in. The baby's supposed to be with her father.
Right.
And they ran.
Now,
that was it.
what I see from what you explained, and this is, it's touching, but I see that same villainous bad guy persona that you say was being used by others was manipulated to keep your child away from you and to make that process a more stringent process for you to overcome.
So, two things. It was done with that. And the crazy thing that you said that is that's what people feed off of now as a whole. They use that the past stigma. Yeah. So like if somebody was to do something to me right now, right?
Right.
And I may get to a point like man, you got me fucked up. It may just be words. The first thing is, you see, we told y'all the type of person he is, so they use that type of stuff, and it's like, for those who know, it's like they automatically jump to the fence, like, nah, we know him. Like that we ain't gonna let y'all do that. But the ones who don't, some of them be in dilemma, you know?
I say that to say this. That's what they used. That's what they used, and they did it to try to keep you away from your daughter, or to prolong the inevitable. But just like it was done then, just like it's attempted to be done now, it didn't work. You know why? Because God got the last say.
That he do.
So if you know who you are, and you know what you mean, you know what your intentions are, you know what you're capable of, you know what your purpose is, stop worrying about what everybody else think about you. Keep doing what you know is right. Keep leading and having your steps guided by God, and don't worry about what nobody else, because you always gonna have two groups of people, some that like it and other that don't. That ain't gonna never change. You feel what I'm saying? So, Jay, man, as long as you know that you ain't did nothing wrong to nobody and you doing the best you can every day, improve and try to make amends when you know that you done did something that you can hold yourself accountable for, hold yourself accountable. And then after you do that, let it go and let God deal with it. Go on, get back to doing you. You're a phenomenal father. You're an awesome Houstonian. And to me, I've known you for, about 15, 16 years now, and you're a phenomenal friend. So I ain't got nothing but good shit to say about you. I don't really know a lot about what's going on, but I do think that you got a lot of good in you, a lot of good that will benefit not just you, but your family, that will benefit the city of Houston, and the culture as a whole, bro. So don't let nothing stop you or discourage you. Don't let nobody make you feel that you lesser than what you know you are. Just keep pushing. You hear me? No matter what they say, you know what I'm saying? When they say, hey man, the man look like, you know, the man look like he came to kill everybody because he ain't smiling, even though he got a mouth full of diamonds, he don't want to smile. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that because they think you sound like whispers off of Hoodlum. Don't worry about that. Let me kill him, Bumpy. Don't worry about that, man. You just continue to be the person you will, man. And the good in you will continue to shine through as it always have. And the people who get close enough to feel it, and the ones who can feel enough to know it, and that's what continue to rock with them. And everybody else will just have to come around.
That's what it is.
All right. Well, with that being said, I'm out of here. Thank y'all. This is Trae Tha Truth.
Truth, come here. Come wave one time.
You going to sleep. We bored you. Old men talking bored you.
I'm still bored.
You still bored. Old men talking, they bored you. Daddy, boy, he talk like he ready to go to bed himself, don't he?
Everything in life have a purpose. So this conversation really was needed, you know. Just to summarize it up, I chose to take my accountability, you know, because I'm at a different place in my life. Am I perfect? Nah. That's one thing I'll never portray to be. You know, I can only be me. I'm human. But to sit back and watch so many pictures be painted, I felt it was only right for me to put things in perspective. I don't do too many interviews. Like if you go look through the history of me, I rarely ever speak on people's names. You know, I leave room for people to judge things for themselves. Cause for me, it's a blessing, you know, when you get to see how people really feel. Cause we be blinded at times thinking everybody in our corner. You know, for me, it's just so crazy. I get up day in, day out, and I bust my ass. I strive to be one of the most solid people out here. Get the skin off my back, and still watch people turn on me. Now, am I alone at times? Just being honest, I am. I operate different. And because of that right there, I get painted as the villain. I barely ever choose to defend myself. You know, I let people feel what they want to feel. Now, let me ask you this. Do it make me a villain because I choose not to fake with people? Or do it make me a villain because I get triggered and I react? Do it make me a villain because I'm pushed to my limit and they don't get the response that they felt they needed? I can't even lie to you. I be frustrated, man. I be frustrated because people don't see none of the stuff that trigger me to even get in that mode. People don't never see the rocks that's being thrown and people hide their hand at the same time. But again, I'm not on here to point fingers about who did what, how they did it, when they did it. I just take mine on the chin. I ain't perfect. And I'll be damned I let somebody make me feel I'm less than what I am. What God got for me, can't nobody take it. I'ma let my actions speak always. From this point on, I can only focus on the people who really matter. The ones who try to understand me, the ones who really care. And those who don't, you know, I ain't mad at you. It's just accept it for what it is. I'm in another place in life, you know, growing every day. My kids come first, you know, my family. Stuff like that really matter, man. I'm learning a lot of other stuff irrelevant right now. Everything I dealt with, I felt like it was part of my testimony. It was God forming me to be the man he wanted me to be. Everything from being banned, cases put on me, people turning on me, staying silent while people lying, and even having to search for my baby. I ain't gonna lie, I was tapped out, man. I was beat up and abused. But it's a blessing anyway. You know, it's a true blessing in disguise. Cause God just teaching me, man. Growth can be painful. I wish they could see there's so much more to me. But even if they don't, man, I take it and smile. A lot of this just a test. And it's on me if I pass. So one thing I'm striving to do every day is be unbothered. God bless.